infrastructure, your water facilities will look at cybersecurity. But looking at the county level as a single ecosystem is a way more complex way of looking at things. Because an attack which may be irrelevant on a single entity in the government can actually be the starting point of something which is a big campaign. And if we spot that and we tackle that, we may actually stop this because it's becoming a crisis. Linked to this is the coordination in case of crisis. Is how at the national level you can basically have all the actors, both public and private, working together to solve the problem in a coordinated fashion. And believe me, every time you are taking this, and in real terms, like making your hands dirty with that, you feel how difficult it is, right? And how much the human part is complex. Now, we saw a little bit about the numbers, we discussed a little bit about what we're seeing in the market. Let me talk for a bit about trends, which are digital trends, but they are impacting cybersecurity a lot. Again, I will touch on them quickly. We are happy to get any questions later in the question and answer. But basically, I will talk about 4 major trends. One is basically everything which is going to the cloud. Now, especially in this region, there is a big push in moving to the cloud and moving to their fast. There is many reasons for that, and I'm not going to touch on that. Of course, efficiency, centralization, eventually even cybersecurity, because having a cloud provider, which is a real cloud provider, will provide you access to cybersecurity products and solutions, which may be difficult to people at every single moment. Now, the reality is that moving on the cloud is basically creating a lot of issues about how you protect your data, how you control where your data are actually moving, and managing the conflict of interest between a cloud provider that wants to use your data where it's most efficient and your interest in protecting those data. Another trend that we see in the market, which is strongly impacting cybersecurity, is everything about data and AI. Now, AI is a super topic, it's a very big topic, I cannot discuss much about it in this, kind of premises, but let me put things in perspective. AI is both a tool for the attacker to basically perform things fast and to do analysis, at scale, in ways that human beings are not really able to do. I mean, if you've been experimenting, for example, with ChatGPT, which is everywhere, around us in these days, you can basically ask ChatGPT to create code, right? So think about the potential. You find a vulnerability, you create the code without knowing anything about Python or any kind of even simple coding language, because that is basically building it for you. On the other side, this kind of solution can spot vulnerabilities. So you have code or you have scripts, and you can basically find vulnerabilities with that. The good news is that AI is also having the same advantages on the defender side. So basically it can be used as a tool to spot your vulnerabilities and to react fast when something is happening. And on this we have a full thought leadership piece which is coming about cognitive, and how AI can be used for cybersecurity. We see a lot of investment in this, and we see a lot of potential for this. The last 2 trends that I want to really quickly talk about is quantum cryptography or post-quantum cryptography. Now, big countries have been experimenting with quantum for a while. They've been investing in quantum for a while. Now, the consensus is that today we are probably around 5 to 10 years as close, as we can be to quantum, meaning having full solutions both at the hardware level and at the software level. Believe me, software level is already happening, right? We have a lot of algorithms which are actually working on a potential quantum computer, but quantum computers are still to be seen at scale, or at least that's what we know. Now, the reality is that quantum is creating a huge challenge for everything that we're doing with cryptography because of the fact that traditional asymmetric encryption that we use for anything, from a banking transaction to any kind of state secret, can actually be broken by quantum in a very fast time frame. Now, reality is that we see a lot of investment in post-quantum cryptography, so algorithms and solutions which can prevent quantum computers to basically break into your communication, your transactions. And that's something that we will see more at scale. And this is probably the time in which you need to invest in that before it's too late. And the last part is about everything which is about Web3, the metaverse, and IoT, and OT. Now, whatever is metaverse related and Web3 related is probably a new frontier of what we will all experience as users in the internet. because of the way to be engineered and all the protocols which are becoming live now, this will create a lot of new challenges for cybersecurity. Again, I don't have the time today to go through all of them, but the reality is that things which were absolutely not there yet are now becoming problems that we need to solve at scale. Think about the ability to move in the metaverse. Now you have a situation in which you can interact with something that looks like a physical world, and you can create everything with that. So you can basically generate things which are offensive in completely new ways. And you can create things which are somewhat, creating a problem for your image in ways which were not even thinkable before. And how do you respond to these at speed and at scale is something that we still need to be seen. Again, this is something that we are investigating as PwC, and this is something that we are discussing more and more with our clients, and this is definitely something that you will see more in the next years. The last part is about IoT and OT. Now, we've seen in the last 10 years a huge increase of what we call kinetic attacks, meaning attacks which are digital in nature, but are creating effects which are physical effects, either affecting people, like their life, their well-being, affecting the environment, or affecting a large-scale solutions and technologies that we use for life-supporting kind of solutions. And again, this is something which has been growing massively. Of course, we cannot disclose too much about the information we see, but the reality is that we see that more and more. And this will be more and more a new frontier of warfare, a new frontier of what crime, ransom, blackmailing will look like. So summarizing, right? What we see is a huge increase on the attack surface, a huge increase on the breaches, a good increase on the defense systems, and everything that we see is going in the direction of having a race which is based on mostly two things: how much you're able to process data at speed and understand what's going on faster than the attacker, and how much you can actually perform execution in a way which is faster than the attacker. And these two topics are extremely relevant: the way you deal with data, the way you deal with AI, the way you act fast at superhuman speed. Thank you very much.